The boardroom was filled with tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Suits lined the massive glass table, eyes darting between open laptops and a giant screen flashing red alerts. The clock on the wall ticked with a slow, menacing rhythm, a countdown to disaster. Every second lost meant another $1,000 slipping away. In the corner, unnoticed by most, a janitor in a crisp blue uniform quietly swept the floor, his movements steady and purposeful, as if oblivious to the storm brewing just a few feet away. No one could have guessed that in less than a minute, this man, ignored, underestimated, and overlooked, would unravel the crisis that threatened to destroy an empire. But before anyone realized what was happening, the fate of a $100 million company would rest not in the hands of its executives, but in the calloused hands of someone the world rarely sees. If you believe extraordinary moments can come from the most unexpected places, make sure to subscribe now. We uncover stories that reveal the hidden brilliance around us, stories that will make you rethink what you know about talent, respect, and what it truly means to make an impact. Hit subscribe, and let's dive into today's incredible story. For weeks, the entire company had been on edge. Numbers weren't adding up. Major clients were threatening to walk away. At first, the leadership team assumed it was a minor accounting glitch, maybe a miscommunication between departments. But the daily losses grew, the warning emails turned to frantic phone calls, and soon the finance team's office looked more like a war room than a workplace. No one could pinpoint the error. Even the top consultants, brought in at astronomical hourly rates, stared at the spreadsheets in disbelief, unable to stop the bleeding. Tensions reached a boiling point on the morning of the big reveal. The CEO, Amanda Lewis, was scheduled to brief the board on how she planned to pull the company back from the brink. Amanda was known for her poise and iron will. She'd weathered tough times before, but never like this. Her reputation, and the jobs of hundreds, were on the line. As Amanda's team prepared for the meeting, the mood was grim. People whispered in the hallways, speculating about layoffs and closures. No one wanted to be the next name on the list of casualties. Meanwhile, in the background, Samuel Johnson, the company's longtime janitor, began his usual morning rounds. Samuel had worked in the building for almost 2 decades. Most days, he was invisible, a friendly nod in the hallway, a soft, good morning, to the few who took notice. But what no one realized was that Samuel listened. As he emptied wastebaskets and wiped down whiteboards, he absorbed more about the company than most of the new hires ever would. He knew who the problem solvers were, who panicked under pressure, and who stayed late to fix mistakes no one else would touch. On that particular morning, Samuel found himself cleaning just outside the executive boardroom. The door was slightly ajar, and through the gap he heard a cacophony of voices, arguments about numbers, deadlines, and the threat of losing their biggest client. Then, a phrase caught his attention: "We've traced it to a cascading database error, but the system just keeps resetting every time we try to patch it. Nothing sticks." Samuel's eyes narrowed. It wasn't that he was a computer genius, at least, not anymore, but he remembered enough from his younger days as an engineer before life took a different turn. Samuel finished his tasks and, as fate would have it, passed by the company's IT office. The team looked exhausted, dark circles under their eyes. One frustrated analyst, Julia, muttered to herself, "It's got to be a recursive loop, but why isn't it logging an error?" Samuel paused, pushing his cart a little slower. Years earlier, before layoffs forced him out of the tech world, Samuel had seen something just like this, a rare, insidious bug that could drain accounts and corrupt systems in hours. An old memory surfaced, as clear as day. The solution had been deceptively simple, a line of code overlooked by dozens of programmers. He hesitated. Was it his place to say anything? The last time Samuel had tried to help at another company, he'd been told to stick to his real job. But the desperation in Julia's voice lingered with him. On impulse, Samuel approached the office doorway and spoke quietly, "Excuse me, but, may I ask a question?" Julia looked up, surprised. Sure," she replied, caught off guard by the janitor's interest. Samuel pointed to the cluster of monitors displaying the company's systems. "Did you check for a shadow variable that could be reinitializing the loop?" Julia blinked. "A shadow variable?" The team glanced at each other. "What do you mean?" Samuel continued, "Sometimes a script will call a variable with the same name from a higher scope, but if there's a shadow variable in the local function, it overrides the global and keeps resetting the value. The system never registers the change, so it keeps looping back." There was a pause. Then, with a surge of energy, Julia spun her chair around and typed furiously. Her colleague Max peered over her shoulder, watching as she scrolled through lines of code. Suddenly, Julia gasped. "He's right. There's a shadow variable in the main patch function. It's being reinitialized every cycle. That's why the patch never takes." The room erupted into controlled chaos. Julia and Max sprang into action, rewriting the code, testing the new fix, and holding their breath as the system rebooted. For the first time in weeks, the screen didn't flash red. The error log cleared. The numbers began updating, accurately, this time. The crisis was over, just like that. The IT team sat back in their chairs, stunned. Max looked at Samuel with newfound respect. "How did you?" Samuel smiled, a little embarrassed. "Just a hunch from back in the day." Word spread through the office like wildfire. Within minutes, Amanda Lewis, the CEO, got the news: the bleeding had stopped. The $1 million leak was plugged. She rushed down to the IT department, expecting to congratulate her high-priced consultants, but found them all gathered around the janitor's cart, shaking Samuel's hand. Amanda stopped in her tracks, confusion and curiosity mixing on her face. "Can someone explain what's going on?" Julia quickly briefed her. Samuel found the root cause. "We were all looking in the wrong place. He caught it in seconds." The CEO turned to Samuel, incredulous. "Samuel, our janitor? How did you know?" Samuel shrugged modestly. "I used to work in software, a long time ago. Sometimes, a fresh set of eyes can see what everyone else misses." For a moment, Amanda said nothing. The whole department watched, waiting to see how the CEO would react. Would she brush him aside? Ignore his contribution? Instead, she did something no one expected. Amanda extended her hand and, with genuine gratitude, said, "Thank you, Samuel. You saved this company." She turned to her staff and added, "Let this be a lesson: never underestimate anyone on our team. Sometimes, the answers come from where we least expect them." The boardroom, which had minutes earlier been a scene of despair, now filled with applause. People from all departments stopped by to thank Samuel. Even employees who rarely spoke to him now offered handshakes and congratulations. Samuel, ever humble, tried to deflect the praise, but the gratitude was sincere. Later that day, Amanda called an all-hands meeting. She stood in front of her entire workforce, hundreds of people, and told the story of how Samuel had saved the company. She announced a new initiative: every employee, regardless of position, would be invited to share ideas for improving the company. "We're only as strong as the people willing to speak up," she declared. "Every voice matters." The story didn't end there. Inspired by Samuel's actions, employees started noticing more around them: small inefficiencies, overlooked safety issues, customer complaints that never got addressed. The culture shifted from one of rigid hierarchy to one of genuine collaboration. The company didn't just recover, it thrived, outpacing competitors who clung to outdated ways of thinking. Samuel's quiet wisdom changed the course of hundreds of lives. And though he could have demanded a reward, he chose something different. He asked Amanda to create a scholarship program for employees' children interested in technology. The CEO agreed on the spot. Months later, the first Johnson scholarships were awarded, opening doors for future innovators who might otherwise be overlooked. Years later, Samuel retired, but his legacy lived on in every corner of the company. His story became a legend told to every new hire, a reminder that genius can wear any uniform, and that greatness is found not in titles, but in the courage to care, to notice, and to help. This story is more than just an office legend. It's a lesson for every workplace, every leader, and every individual. Talent is everywhere. The real challenge is whether we are willing to see it, nurture it, and value it, no matter where it comes from. It's easy to overlook people who don't fit our expectations, to ignore the quiet ones in the background. But the greatest solutions, the most powerful insights, often come from those least expected. So, what would you have done if you were in Amanda's place? Would you have listened, or dismissed Samuel like so many others? If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe now. Every week, we bring you powerful, true stories that prove brilliance has no boundaries. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know, have you ever witnessed or experienced a moment when someone underestimated made all the difference? Your story could inspire someone else to speak up, to listen, or to believe in themselves, just like Samuel. Never forget, the world is full of hidden heroes. Sometimes, all it takes is a moment of humility and openness to see the extraordinary that's right in front of us. If this story resonated with you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to this channel right now to hear more stories that challenge, inspire, and reveal hidden truths. Your voice matters. Leave a comment below and tell us what you think about what happened to Elijah. Do you believe justice was served? Also, don't forget to hit the like button to help this story reach more people who need to hear it. Share this video with someone who should know that even in the darkest moments, one phone call can change everything. Your support drives this channel forward. Thank you for being part of this community.